Well, it's May, which means there's a good chance that you're the recent recipient of a request for money thinly disguised as a graduation party invitation from a cousin who lives 3,000 miles away, and whom you haven't spoken to in 8 years. Yes, grad season can be full of unpleasant surprises, but most of them can be easily tossed in the trash and forgotten about. Jinger Duggar isn't quite so lucky, however. His son-in-law Jeremy Vuolo earned a degree this week, and even though JB likely approves of the 28-year-old's course of study, J received a master's in divinity studies. Of course, he probably wasn't thrilled with the graduation photos. The pics look innocent enough at first, but like just about everything else in life, they don't measure up to Jinger's lofty moral standards. The patriarch might be okay with Josh being convicted of receiving and possessing child, but one of his daughters wearing pants and high heels? Well, that's just unacceptable. To be fair, Jinger has been wearing pants and shorts for several years now, and Jinger seems to have come to terms with it. But he's probably not thrilled with the sight of his daughter wearing high heels, which do not meet the Duggar definition of modest dress. Yes, the Duggars are a strange lot in many ways, but the family dress code is one of the weirdest things about them. They want their women to be as feminine as possible in most ways, but fashion statements that might stir up impure thoughts in the menfolk are severely frowned upon. So accessories like high heels don't pass muster, even though they're considered traditionally feminine in most parts of the country. It's a minor dress code violation from Jinger, but you can be certain that her father wasn't thrilled about it. As is her MO, Jinger didn't make any mention of her latest display of independence when she posted the pics in her Instagram story. Instead, she kept the focus on her husband's big achievement. Jeremy graduated from at Master's Seminary with his Master's of Divinity program. Jinger captioned the pics. "So proud of this guy," she added. In general, the Vuolos are probably a very frustrating couple for Jinger. In some ways, they're the ideal fundamentalists. He's going to school to become a minister, and she stays at home to raise the kids. But in other ways, they're defiantly independent. Shortly after marrying Jeremy, Jinger became the first Duggar of her generation to permanently relocate. The Vuolos first moved to Amarillo, Texas, which Jinger seemed to be okay with. But after Jeremy was accepted into divinity school, he and Jinger moved to Los Angeles, which Jinger and wife Michelle were decidedly not cool with. In fact, insiders say Jinger was briefly disowned by her parents, who were furious over her decision to relocate to the West Coast. So now that Jeremy has completed his course of study, will he and Jinger be returning to boring old Arkansas? We wouldn't count on it, and if they do, Jinger would probably be well advised to leave her heels in LA.